What the graph in front of you shows is what happens to a substance as it moves through the different states of matter. So let's begin down here, and let's say we have a solid. Now, as you remember, solids are very rigid, they do not like to move. Now, let's add some kinetic energy and make the particles move a little bit. What will happen is that the particles will become less and less rigid, and the temperature of the particles will increase. Now, let's keep adding more and more kinetic energy. The particles begin moving more and more and more until we reach this point. This point is known as the heat of fusion. And at this point, if we keep adding kinetic energy, if we keep adding joules of energy to the particle, the temperature stops increasing. The reason for this is because we can sort of think that the substance is melting. So what happens is the substance, we add more kinetic energy, more joules of energy, it stays at the heat of fusion, and eventually, at this point, the substance is fully a liquid. Now remember that liquids are a little bit different than solids. The particles are still close to each other, but they can move freely and slide past one another. So now what happens is we add more kinetic energy, more enthalpy, and the temperature of the liquid increases until we reach this point. This point is known as the heat of fusion. Once again, if we keep adding more joules of energy, the temperature will not increase. We could sort of think that the substance is evaporating or vaporizing. That's why it's the heat of vaporization. Now, once we reach this point, once we add X amount of kinetic energy in joules, the substance is fully a gas. Remember that gases, their particles stay far apart and they move very freely and very fast. What happens is this, you can sort of think essentially that this line goes on forever, and the more kinetic energy you add, the faster and further apart the particles get from one another.
Yeah, teacher.